Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Balance and Sanity. It's your girl Monica on the ones and twos.
It's your boy Valentine. Here we go.
Thank God for another week. Just been so crazy. I feel like it's always been crazy on my end. It's just, life is challenging. What could I say? I hate adulting. Like adulting sucks, man.
Yeah, I can't stand adulting. I'm tired of this shit. I don't wanna go back. Enough of this.
Tell them how you really feel, though.
I mean, I'll let you know. I'm tired of paying these bills. I'm tired of waking up. I just want to go back to if I want to go to class today or not. I mean, that's what it is.
Yo, do you remember when we used to I don't remember. Were you there freshman year? 2001? Did I meet you in 2001?
I came spring 03, baby. Spring 03.
I remember my freshman year. It was me, Noelle, Carlins, I think Christine, Sean, and Andre. We stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning playing spades. And yes, I did whip that in some spades and had to go to class at 9 o'clock in the morning. Needless to say, after my freshman year, I never took a 9 o'clock class again.
Clearly.
Well, let me tell you, I want to go back to those days. I would think if I could pick any time in history, I would want to go back to. I want to go back further, not just college. I probably would go back to, I want to say freshman year of high school, but I feel like I might even want to go back further than that.
Nah. I'll go back to senior year, high school, senior year, last semester, where I'll really use that time where I wasn't in school because I only had like 2 classes or 3 classes or whatever. I use that time to really damn, what is it that I really want to do in my life? Let me go research this and that and all that stuff, and then be able to go back and make better decisions and not feel like I was always on the back foot. You feel me?
I do.
So, yeah.
That's what's up. Because you know what's, when you say that, I actually think I would probably go back because I went as a psych major. The lady said to me freshman year, I was loving it, digging it, loved everything that she was saying. I was like, I'm so into learning people's minds and learning how people think. And she said to us, your senior year, you're going to have to do a senior thesis. It's going to have to be 15 pages long. I went took my behind right to academic affairs and was like, can I change my major?
Son, how you ran away from 15 pages, son? That's
because even in high school,
you was like, nah,
papers
chill.
weren't my thing. Give me a math problem. Give me logic. Give me something that made sense. Papers for me was not my thing. Wasn't my thing at all.
That wasn't smart for you to go into being a psych because that's all y'all do is write papers.
I didn't know that. But that's why I ended up going into computers. I went in as a computer programmer, and then I ended up changing to management information systems, which is computer programming and the business aspect of it.
Son, I think everybody in Westbury that found out that they had to go through Gupta decided to take that, son. All right? We all did that, son.
Gupta.
It was the biggest change in Westbury's history. All computer science majors was F this, MIS, let me get the hell out of here. Call it that.
And see, so the name Gupta sounds familiar, but I didn't switch to MIS because of him. Because I ended up switching because I wanted to have broader horizon when it came to coming out of school. Because when you're in computer programming, all you're doing behind the desk is sitting down writing codes upon codes upon codes. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I liked it. But I remember writing programming and just the whole thing crashed on me. And I have to go back now and write each page line by line to figure out where my mistake was.
Yeah. I mean, they don't do that now. They just compile it now. Wish that was available when we were in school. But at this point in time, man, I'm just I had those problems, or I would have an issue where a fucking semicolon, excuse my language, because that really pissed me off. But a semicolon, 40 pages of code and a semicolon, you had to look for the code. You had to look for the semicolon. Bro. You know what I mean? It was crazy, son. I'm chill. I'm done with this, son. I'm done with this.
I know that feeling.
You think I'm playing, son? My eyes roll back in the head right now. I'm done with this, bruh. All right? That is what caused me to drink, son. You feel me? That is what made me pick up the bottle of 151 Bacardi, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B 151 and Hennessy and mix those two together and be like, such is life right now. Like, that's what it is.
Yo,
you know what I'm
so
saying?
in
Like,
saying all of that, I feel like for me, had I had gone back to that part of my life when I was in computers and I was really doing my dang thing, I could be sitting rich right now, because had I had kept up with the whole computer programming part of it, they're lacking women. They're lacking this minority, although we know the truth. We are the majority. I'd have been sitting caking right now. Like, I'd have probably owned my third house, married, like, boo, you my boo on the Wednesdays, you my boo on the Thursdays. I lie. I wouldn't do that, but...
And y'all hear this one talking about she's a hopeless romantic, but she got booze on Wednesday and Thursdays. Like, it's crazy.
You know that's a lie. It ain't.
I think if you had gotten that, I think there's a reason why you're not there because of that. Okay,
it wouldn't. So I wouldn't have done that, because my goal in life, especially when it comes to relationships, is to stick with one, make it work with one. And if it don't work, right. But I think where I am right now, especially now that I'm older than I was in college, I'm looking for a friend. I'm looking for my best friend.
Yeah, but you know, the funny thing is, your son, real talk, relationship goals, relationship facts. Son, we all had that when we was younger. Everybody had that when we was younger, son. You know what I mean? It's crazy to try to find that now, when you're mid-30s or your late 20s and your early 30s. Like, it's so hard to find that now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like everybody trying to do the same thing. They trying to find the one that got away and replace them. You know what I mean?
Differ.
Like, that feeling is crazy.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, I think so. And let me tell you something, man. I'm telling you right now, yes, I'm married. Love my wife. You know what I'm saying? But she not my best friend.
You got to say that.
The reason why.
Because you're on the air.
I mean, I'm on the air. I love my wife. And I'm saying with a big grin because I love my wife. This is not just for entertainment purposes. I'm telling the truth. I love my wife. But I just want to let you know, I mean, that's what it is. Like, sometimes you're not going to find that best friend. You need somebody that's going to be a yin and a yang. You know what I mean? But that whole entire, like, someone that can take you for who you are and when you are. I mean, we as people, so we always constantly evolving, and we got to get to that person that can evolve with us at the same time and accept our evolution.
I'm gonna need you not to knock your mic off the stand.
Sorry, I caught my hands, but I was in mid snap because I just dropped some straight poetry just now.
It was all right. It wasn't that spectacular.
Don't want to hate. Listen. Snap, baby. Snap.
So I get what you're saying. But I just find that people do tend to try to find that. I don't know if necessarily, and when I was saying earlier that I disagree with you, is because I don't necessarily think people are trying to find that, because when I think about, or when I talk to guys when it comes to dating, they're looking for somebody to either fill a gap, fill a void, fill something, but not necessarily the best friend. So the reason why I say this is because I want to have, or want to be dating, or want to get in a relationship with somebody that if my bachelorette party comes around and he says to me, yo, we should have our parties together, I'm like, yo, son, what do you have in mind? And he's like, you know, it's epic. And I'm like, let's do it. That's the kind of relationship I want to have. There's not a lot of people out there that will be willing to do that, because a guy wants to be able to go to the strip club, hang out with his boys, do whatever on his own as a single man for the last time. And the woman, she wants to go out. She wants to do her thing as a single woman for the last time. For me, I'm hanging out with my best friend, and we're about to turn this place up, because we're about to get it on and popping as single people before we get married. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but that's also kind of at least from my opinion, I think that's coming from a place or space of people in a different age, like 20s, mid 20s, you know, late 20s. I'm trying to get married. I'm trying to settle down, but this is my last night out as, you know, surviving with, you know, I got to spend the rest of my life with the ball and chain. Like, that's that whole mentality. Like, I've been there. I mean, we've all did it, but when you really with your best friend or whatever like that, like, why not have a bachelor party together? Like, why not? We can go to hedonism, have a bachelor party. We can go to Mexico, have a bachelor party. We can go a bachelorette party. We can go on a cruise, have a bachelorette party, and still act and wild out. But guess what? Y'all wilding out together.
You're absolutely
You feel
right.
me? Like that's, and I think people don't understand. People that whole bachelorette party, bachelor party, that whole thing came from a stigma of this is your last night of freedom. You got to hang out with your boys. You got to do this, and it's like. It's okay, we can do that, but you know what? You still gonna party with my lady and her lady friends, and then y'all never know. Y'all may even smash one of the lady friends. You know what I'm saying? Like
nah.
for a day. No, I'm saying the friends will smash the other friends. Right, right.
Your friend call your friends and my friends, so you can be friends.
Right, because guess what? At the end of the day, I know at the end of the night I'm getting some pussy. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm getting some nanny.
You can't even say it right.
I was gonna say it. You
don't even know what you want.
I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to say it because I'm respecting your wishes. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect you, so I'm respecting your wishes of the no cussing.
That's not my wish. I've never.
Well,
said
that's
that
what
to
you do. Well, that's what you do. You know, I'm just trying to keep it clean. I'm just trying to keep it clean.
No.
Well, you know,
Before we go on a tangent,
I got
clear
kids.
the air.
I got kids. I can't be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me clear the air real quick. You do you, and you be you, and I'm gonna do me and be me, because that's all I can and will do.
Okay, but on a serious note, I got balling. You know, I got to respect my household a little bit. You feel me?
So put that as your reasoning for cutting back on the cursing, not me. Well, I'm not holding you to nothing.
Clearly, you're not holding me to nothing. Clearly, but as we digress, okay, all I'm trying to say is, you know, at the end of the day, I'm getting some nanny. I'm going to smash at the end of the day. I don't know about my friends, but I know if I have a bachelorette party with my fiance, I'm smashing the night before. I'm smashing crazy the night before. Simple.
Okay, but here's my thing to you. When you were talking earlier that this is people that are talking in their 20s, actually it isn't. These are people, I'm in a group, 30 plus, single, I think it's black, no kids. Black in the sense of if you can put African American, Caribbean, West Indian, black, melanin.
All in that same black.
Yeah, like you're a part of this group. And the group is filled up with these people that are 30 plus. And this is what they had to say. And a lot of men, I don't remember if the women were responding. No, the women were. They all were just, majority, let me not say all. Majority of them said, I'm not having my bachelor party or my bachelorette party with my significant others. And it was literally me and probably a handful of people that was just like, why not? Like, you're about to spend the rest of your life with this person. If you can't turn up with this person on the day before you get married, so this is not your friend. This is just your husband, which is fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm looking for somebody that is my best friend, my confidant. I could come home. I could say, let me whoop you in some video game real quick. And I don't have to I don't have to get on the internet with you who live in a whole nother place to say, yo, Val, what you doing? Let's play a game real quick. I can turn to my hubby or my boo and say, yo, let's play a video game. Let me whoop you real quick. And when he gets his behind whooped, he knows it's his time to get in the kitchen because you just lost, whatever. That's your, yep. I don't want to say bid, but that's the only word that comes to mind. But that's your punishment for losing to me, a woman. Like, come on.
Now, you see, look at the precedents that you just stated or you just set right now with that. Like, you lost to me because I'm a woman, right? So do you realize that guy can easily create a game that you'll never win at?
What do you mean? I need you to explain.
You know that, right? He can easily create it. Son, all right. That guy can find out what, like, your husband, since I set the precedence, like, yo, if you lose, get your bitch ass in the kitchen because you lost to me, your wife, get your bitch ass in the kitchen. Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say that to him.
I mean, I'm just saying, you said something similar just now, right?
Definitely not even close, but okay.
What do you mean it's not close? You just set that precedence just now.
When you said all that, you just punked him. That's what you did.
But you telling me you didn't sell it to him just like that? Get in the kitchen.
Because it's the same thing. It's like if I lose and he says, well, you just lost, get to this back rub. He's right. I lost. Get to this back rub. Just like if you lost, get in the kitchen. I'm not calling you a B word. I'm not saying you're a punk. I'm not dismantling you. But at the same time, if we're friends and I did say those words to you, like you would understand, like, you got it this time. Next
True.
time I'm gonna whoop that.
I understand exactly your point of view. I completely understand.
Of course
I don't
You've known
agree.
me for so many years.
I know, that's what I said. I don't agree, but I definitely see and understand your point of view. However, pretty much if I know, like, yo, your weakness is like, yo, you can't play spades past a certain time. Like, yo, you just get tired, or Uno, you just can't play Uno. Like, for the life of you, no matter what, you just not that good at Uno. Who knows? You just don't know. You tried everything. All of a sudden, I'm like, yo, let's play some Uno, right? And if you lose, right, it's not just you, not my friend. You know what I'm saying? It's not none of that stuff. But seriously, you gotta wake me up with head every morning. And for how long? 3 weeks, 7 days. Just because you're a woman. I'm not going to make that bet with nobody else. I'm not going to make that bet with you. But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
but
you're
if you're
friend.
my boo or my husband, I feel like these are things that we can do. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but when you get married, like, there's things that you can do that you usually would do, you know, when you're not married.
I don't get
and
that.
And then after that, sometimes you get tired. Of course you don't get that.
Womp womp. Womp womp.
Of course you don't get that. You're not married. But I'm telling you.
Nope.
I'm telling you for what it is.
Nope.
Sometimes, you're not going to do it.
No. I disagree.
Monica, you mean to tell... So, Monica, so you're telling me that what you're going to do from the first night of you being married or the first day, you're going to do that for 10 years? Like, that's just going to be what you do. Your husband says, I need you to wake me up with head every morning, Monday through Sunday, every morning. You gonna be like, okay, and there's gonna be no problem.
Here's the problem that's the first issue that I feel like you're missing is that when you're asking for something, you're not asking for something to happen every single day. It's like if we play a video game and you lose, you do it 1 day, 2 days tops. After that, you don't get it again, whatever it is, for a while. That's what keeps the spice going. Y'all men, I'm not gonna say y'all men.
Oh, you have this spice going thing. Okay, I got it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've dealt with a couple of girls like you.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, I've dealt with some girls that has that same mentality. Like, I don't want you to be. I don't want to give you everything all at once. I got to keep.
And I don't want you to give me everything at once. It's a give and take thing.
I've dealt with that. That to me is pretty much that's a rule that people are following. Right? And it's like when you come to a relationship with rules already set, you have already set that relationship to not even start on the best foot.
I don't think so.
Because you got rules.
I don't think so.
Of course not.
Because you know what it is? I don't think of it as being rules because rules set a state for something. When you come in with a certain level of standards or a certain level of expectations, which I feel like everybody should.
It's called you failed.
No, it's not you failed. Because if I come into this relationship saying, suppose, because one, you don't go into relationships, the same way you go into a relationship is not the same way that it progresses over the years. Because if I'm in a relationship with you, for example, and we have a thing where we go tit for tat, whether it be jokes or playing games or pranking each other, there's a level of, babe, we've been doing this every day now for the last couple years or whatever. It's starting to get whacked. Let's die down on it. You and yourself will be able to say, you know what, you're absolutely right. Let's take it back a notch, chill on it for a little second, and then maybe we could bring it up in a couple of years. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Spicing up your relationship. If I'm dating you and I say, babe, we haven't gone out and played get to know the nurse or something where I go to a bar and then you come up to me as a stranger and then we try to kick it off and then we just go at it right then and there. If this is something that we haven't done in a long time, I don't see why we can't do things to spice up the relationship. It's not a rule. If you're not the type of person to want to do that kind of stuff, that's a conversation to have between both parties. For me, spicing up my relationship is all it's about, because if I can keep your attention and you can keep mine, that's how our relationship is going to last the longest. The point blank period. If you get bored, I get bored. Guess what? We end up start seeking.
That's just normal.
But you and yourself just said that I'm setting up a rule by trying to spice up my relationship and spicing it up. It's not a rule.
No, I said when you come to expectations.
But I feel like if you don't have expectations, then you're a fool.
No, I don't think so, because of the fact, and this is the reason why I don't think so, because once you come up and you set expectations, you set yourself up to fail. Because what happens if that person don't meet your expectations?
Well, see, So it depends on what your expectations are. If you're saying that
been
you
with
want a
You
man,
could be with that person for a year, 2 years, 3 years, Monica. You be with this person for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then you one day, they finally move in. Y'all finally move
I'm not moving in
together.
until
And
we're
all of a
married.
sudden,
So next.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But then there you go. So even if when you start getting married and you can get married, you move with somebody and you know yourself, right? And you know yourself. You know these are some things that you don't like. Even if you had the conversation with this person, if the person is who they are, right? Things that they've been doing forever is not going to change just because they married. You understand that? That's what I'm talking about, the fluidity.
But see, what you're talking
of being with someone.
So what you're saying makes no sense.
You have to be fluid.
Because if we're dating 2-3 years, you know who I am as a person. You know that I like to spice things up every so often. So you have the choice.
I'm telling you right now, it's not that easy. You're living in a box, because I'm telling you right now, not everybody. There's a lot of people. The type of people the type of person that you are. You guys are like 5% of what of everybody.
So here's the thing.
There's a lot of people that don't do that.
Thing.
A lot of people be like, they change every time something makes happens.
No. It's not about a change, and I think that's what you're missing. It's not about a change. It's about me and somebody that I'm dating, getting to know each other, adding some kind of something to the relationship to spice it up, whether that be toys, experimenting, going to like a sexual therapist to make sure our lives are better, things like that. There is nothing wrong with that. If you go into a relationship expecting like, I want my partner to be willing to spice up the relationship, and they don't feel like doing that, here's the awesome thing about dating. Both of you guys can walk away. You don't have to stay in a relationship with somebody that doesn't meet your expectations. Granted, if I am dating you and there's other parts of you that I like that I can compromise certain areas on, that's where compromising comes in. But it doesn't happen off bat. Each person is supposed to come in with a level of expectation for whatever it is that they want, whether or not it's met and whether or not it's that important for them to end the relationship is up to that person. But to say that people should just come into a relationship without expectations, I disagree 100%. You should always have expectations, because we have expectations in every other area of our lives. Why not in relationships? I have it in my job. I have it in my social life. I have it with my friends. I have it with my parents. I'm going to have it with my kids. So why should I not have it in a relationship?
Because I think, and this is just my opinion, right?
Your opinion
again. Thank you. That's why it's an opinion.
Anytime.
Right. But I really think that when you just have a relationship, and you have expectations in a relationship, you have to be prepared for the unexpected. And I think the expectations short sights that unexpectedness, because I mean, let's say you get married to someone and this person has been steady. They had a steady job, or they got their own business. They have been steady in their life forever. And then all of a sudden, shit just hits the fan, right? You've never met this person, or you don't know what this person goes through or how they react when shit hits the fan. And that's a character building experience that not many people see other people do. So because of that, it can get very like, oh shit, like, is this how you act when something happens or such and such? These things never come about. And that's the reason why it's like, you could try to talk about as much things as possible before they happen. And it's like, you just gotta hope and pray that when the shit hits the fan, y'all both come out of it okay, and y'all both move forward with it. That's what I'm talking about. If you have expectations, you're going to get disappointed. I mean, it's inevitable.
I'd still disagree with you. I still so disagree with you, because if you end up in a relationship or in anything, you need to have some level of expectations. You have to, because if you just go,
I mean, Monica, we could break it down to layman's terms. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know girls who was looking for the biggest dick they ever could find while trying to smash. And when they get it, the dude can't fuck. They got let down. They were expecting some big, great things to happen, and guess what? They got let down.
You're talking about expectations.
I mean, that's a normal normal thing.
But
that's
those
expectations. That's an expectation. That's a general expectation.
It's not a general expectation.
Broken down.
Let me tell you why it's not, because that's right there. That's an
I'm
unrealistic
listening. Yeah.
expectation. I can't expect that the next man I meet is going to have a big penis. You know why? Because I can't see his penis.
No. I'm not talking about. Okay, now you misunderstood me. Okay, I said girls who find the guys that got the big dicks. They expecting to have this amazing experience with this big dick, and then they get let down. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you just pointing out a regular guy and like, yes, he's got a big dick and all that stuff. No,
but
that's not what I'm talking about.
So that expectation, so that's an unrealistic expectation. And
How?
the reason is because just because somebody has a well endowed doesn't necessarily mean anything besides the fact that they're well endowed.
So, Monica, all right. In that case, here's your homework assignment. I'm gonna need you to go and ask all your girlfriends, right? And the age range from 20 to your current age, and find out what they say. Just go ahead.
About what?
Find out.
What is my question to them?
What is it? Okay, your question is, if you ever had anybody that was well endowed or a big dick, right? Were you disappointed, or were your expectations met?
I will do that. But
I mean, it's a simple.
But here's the thing with your question though. With your question, and your expectation, I didn't.
I'm not leading them on.
So
I'm not leading them on.
Here's what I'm talking about with your expectation that you're actually talking about. I'm not talking about, when I say expectation of somebody that I'm dating, I'm not talking about anything sexual. Because remember, this is somebody that I'm just getting to know and I'm dating. When I'm talking about expectations, I'm expecting somebody to be open up, to be willing to try new things, like I'm willing to try new things. Nothing sexual. I'm not even talking about anything sex related when I talk about expectations.
Right. It was just
right. But your example is so extreme that it like throws my whole premise off.
Okay, so in that case, let's bring it down to your level. Okay, well, not bring it down to your level. Let's bring it to your, I guess, your thought process, maybe. Let's see here. I want you to ask your girlfriends in terms of when they go into a relationship, right? When they go into a relationship, what are their expectations, and have they ever been in that relationship long enough for their expectations to be met or to be
I already got that answer, because we talk about dating all the damn time.
And
a lot of
now mind you, hold on. Are you talking to friends that are in relationships, or are you talking to single people?
Both.
Because single people think the same. I just want you to know that, okay?
Not necessarily. Because I was in a room today. I was in a room today. No. I was in a room today with single, married, and dating. Single, married, and dating, right? And we all had the same thought process when it came to dating. And expectations within dating. Yes.
That's crazy.
So what I'm saying to you is that I know a lot of my girlfriends, when they're dating, their expectation off bat is that they're dealing with somebody that wants to be married. Whether or not it's to me, the next girl, whatever the case may be, but you're serious enough to want to get married. 2, that they're doing something for themselves. That they're just not sitting at home waiting for mom and dad to pay for their bills, but they are out there working, doing what needs to be done. These are expectations. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like my other homegirl, she was saying that from her boyfriend, she expected him to, to stop hanging out with so many girls. Like, he's in a relationship now. You need to relax on the amount of women that you chill with. And you need to, if you're going to be hanging out with these girls, they need to know who I am. I feel like those are great expectations. These are just some to name a few. Like, I got a list, but I don't see anything wrong with these expectations. I don't see anything wrong with having expectations for the next person, because if you don't have expectations, you'll just allow any foolishness to be in your space. And as women, we do this enough already that we shouldn't be allowing the craziness into our space. And I find that, and for me, it's not shocking that you would say that, because I hear from men 9 times out of 10 that women shouldn't have expectations, or there should be no expectations. You should just let things go and run with the flow. Yeah, I'm gonna run with the flow, right, and be single for the rest of my life, or end up with this loser because I ran with the flow. So, yeah, I don't necessarily think we need to harp on this conversation anymore. That's just how I feel. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with having expectations, as long as they're not unrealistic expectations when you're going into a relationship. And like anything, You go in hoping, wanting one thing, but that can always change as your relationship develops, as you get to know this person, as you get to know yourself in this relationship. It takes a different part. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So yeah.
I agree. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I think as long as the expectations aren't crazy, then I think everything is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we agree to disagree and move on. Now, I wanted to tell you something in terms of earlier this week about a relationship about shorty that I work with. Right? She's a single lady. You know, she's doing well. She's I think a manager or VP or something like that. She's doing well, right? But she's like, yo, like Val, like it's crazy. How can you be? You look so happy. You look so you're like amazingly successful in life. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I'm still trying to get to where I got to get to. What you talking about? And she's like, no. Like I'm talking about like you have a family. Everybody's so happy. Such. I was like, yeah, sometimes, but not everybody's like that all the time. And she's like, yeah, it's true, but I don't have none of that, and that's what I want. And I was telling her like, what are you talking about? You're a beautiful woman. What, you don't have a boyfriend? So she tells me, well, she's like, no, well, it's not like I don't have a boyfriend. I have a few. And I was like, well, what's the problem? Well, she's like, well, you know, I don't know what to do with them. Now, I said to myself, I got to keep a mental note, and I'm going to bring this to you, to our show. One thing I wanted to tell her was to, you know, be a hoe. Or not be a hoe, but enjoy yourself. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want to do and call it a day. The other thing that she was saying is that, you know, she just wanted to just settle down and stop and be someone's wife. And I was like, wow, this is a strong woman, strong black woman, literally. And she's like, she just wants to be someone's wife. And I was like, that's so vulnerable to say. You know, at least I thought that was a vulnerable position that she felt that she wanted to share with me. What do you think? What do you think of that, Monica? Like, do you think that career should always be first before relationship goals because it catches up at the end?
So you first of all, let's go back. I found several areas that's wrong.
Okay, well then, let's talk about the first one that you said was wrong.
So let me get this. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is a person that's at your job, well in her career. She's dating several people.
Yeah.
But she wants to be somebody's wife. Or no. Rather, she's dating several people but doesn't know how to become someone's wife.
Correct. I think yes. The latter, yes.
So she's dating several people but doesn't know how to be someone's wife. How about we date one person then? That would be my first suggestion. Like if you're dating several people, there's a reason you're dating several people. It could be because these several people match several different things within your life, and neither one of them can fill that one thing that you're looking for. Therefore, I would tell you, let go of these several men and start looking for that one person so that you can build up to that marriage, because you can't build up to marriage with several different people. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you're dating them and you're talking about a committed relationship. If you're dating them just to get to know them, to see where things go and trying to get to know these people, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you start mixing dating and marriage go hand in hand when it's me and you, one-on-one kind of a situation. And then I would tell her, you need to invest in, legitimately invest in one person, build that relationship up, see where it goes.
I was about to say, Monica. I was about to say, you just cursed? Oh, shit.
No, I didn't curse. No curse words for me.
I was like, whoa. Yeah.
But yeah, so to build that relationship up and then take it from there, have the conversation. Not in a sense of, oh, we need to have a marriage conversation, but a conversation in the sense of like, what do you see yourself in 5 years? Is marriage on your radar? Because then if you're dating these people and then you can literally check these people off because they say, nah, I don't want to get married, then you're like, all right, you're not the one for me. This is how you get yourself into the lane of marriage. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no, I agree with you. It's just that I think, because I had asked her that question about, well, why don't you just cut the worst of the worst off and keep the best one you want? And she was like, well, I'm in a different tax bracket. So she's like,
so
there's a couple few people out there. There's very few that would they have to pass her real test, as so to speak. And I was like, did you have a real test when you was broke?
Oh my God.
I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
So,
yeah, whatever.
your homegirl, sorry to say, I wish her the best. I hope she does find somebody, but it
she's
sounds
not
like
gonna find
she's
nobody.
holding herself.
She's not gonna find somebody. She's not gonna find a new one. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I told her that too. I said, yo, listen, if you keep this up, you and your body pillow is gonna be your best friend. All right, your
Right,
body
so I
pillow.
agree with you on this
son.
one because I feel like she's holding herself back because if you're using money, granted, let me put a disclaimer on it. You can, so like I said before, you can have any expectation you want going into a relationship. When you meet somebody that's worth your time, gives you whatever it is that you're searching for that can fulfill you in every other way, you start to need to go through your expectations or your non-negotiables and say, is this something I can give up? If you're making, let's give her a price range. I don't know her tax bracket, but it sounds like she makes a lot. So I'm going to go extreme. She's making 120 grand a year, 125. Let's keep it odd number.
It's pretty high. I mean, she makes higher than that. Sorry.
She makes higher than that.
Yeah,
even
she's
better.
pretty well off. Like I said, like
even better.
Really well off,
She makes 100. I'm gonna keep with my 125 because me as a thousandaire, that sounds like a lot, right? So 125 thousand a year. That's shout out to my sister because she uses that all day. She's like, I'm in the thousandaires, all right? So I'm gonna stay in my tax bracket. I love her to death, but if she's making this kind of money and she wants somebody that makes close to that, she doesn't want to date somebody that's flipping burgers. I get you, sis. I get you. But if she meets somebody that's working in, let's say, the financial district, but isn't making that much, but makes 80 grand, I don't see the problem. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Those two people, I don't believe are in the same tax bracket, but why can't you give him a chance just because he's making less than you? Then it becomes about materialistic and how much he can afford you. You're not supposed to be afforded when you're dating and when you're trying to find a husband. This is supposed to be somebody that you can build an empire to. He makes you better, you make him better as y'all go together and are better in yourselves as one person. So I pray that her eyes are open and she realizes like she may have some good men on her hand and she may need to let go of the fact that, money may be an issue. It may come up where they need to talk about that later on in the relationship, but whatever. But as far as career versus relationship, so I have to play the race card on this. Only because as black people, or I shouldn't even say black people, us versus them, and them being white people, us being everybody else. That's a general statement, not meaning all, because there are some disclaimers and some races that don't fall into this category. But for whatever reason, when it comes to career versus marriage, the Caucasian persuasion always go with relationship first. If you ever notice it. They always get married, and they get married super young, like in their 20s, their early 20s.
21,
they
20.
They already got
19.
the date set. Right.
Married, yo.
And
My
then they work.
Sweetheart. Yeah.
Right, but sometimes it's not even a high school sweetheart, but just in their 20s, and then they work themselves to get to that career level, and then they may start having kids.
Kids, yeah. Then they have kids late.
Right.
33, 35, yeah.
Exactly, but they marry young and then do their career after. For us and for everyone else, for whatever reason.
We got kids at 16!
I'm not even going there. I'm just saying that we search after our careers first. And then hold off on the relationship. And then if the relationship comes, it comes. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. And 9 times out of 10, it's not coming.
Yeah.
So I personally believe now that I'm in my 30s, I had to think about it. I was like, how old am I? I kind of forgot for a second because I'm just like,
that's that age catching up to you.
Yo, let me tell you, that water got my skin looking real young, so I kind of got screwed up for a second.
Ooh,
but I think in my 30s, had I been, when I was younger, I wish that I wasn't pressured into relationships as hard as I was. Not to say that people shouldn't have been pushing me to say, you need to get married, you need to have kids, but not to do it so hard, and would have pushed more of find out who you are as a person and then seek relationship. Because if I had found myself in my 20s or even in my high school years, I don't believe without a doubt, I'd be married by now, because at this age, I'm trying to learn who Monica is by Monica. Singleness, what I like, what I don't like, what I'm willing to care about, what I'm not willing to care about. Like, I literally just finished reading The Subtle Act of Not Giving an F. And that book is just like so true. You have to pick what you're willing to care about and not care about. And you need to make yourself better before you can care about anything else. Granted, care is not the word he used, but
Yeah.
that's literally what the whole book is about. It's not about a self-help book. It's literally just making sure that you understand at the end of the day, when you, speaking about me, Monica, because that's all I can speak for, when Monica wakes up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, what is it that you want to put all your energy and cares into for today? What do you want to allow to stress your life? If I'd have known this in my 20s, I'd have been a different person. Like, I'd have been, I don't know if I'd have necessarily been happier in my singleness, but I'd have been happier of who I am. I might have been able to find myself earlier. I might have been able to progress more. I might have been able to have more willpower, strength, whatever it is. I might have been able to have it back then if I wasn't pushed into, oh, you need to get married, you need to have kids, you need to da-da-da-da-da-da. And I get the whole laundry list. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
career versus relationship, I feel like I'm not picking either. I'm picking self over both.
That wasn't a choice, but I
realized.
understand.
I realized. I think my explanation explained it out well enough that it was just like, okay, find self. Okay, so this is the order then. It's find self, relationship, then career. So that's how I would explain it.
Me personally, I wasn't really pushed in terms of relationship. I was more pushed in terms of career. Like, go to school, get a good job, go to school, get a good job, get a degree, go to get a job. So I was pushed into that aspect. But I would have much rather just to have been, what you said, understanding myself. I'd have been much more focused about what I want to do and how I want to do it and how I want to execute it. So it's I would have been definitely a bit different in terms of that. But
I agree. I so agree.
With that being said, Monica, in terms of relationship goals, what's your ultimate goal? Just to go back around full circle here, what's your ultimate goal in a relationship? I'll tell you mine before. I'll give you some time to think. I'll tell you mine. My ultimate goal in a relationship is to be it's two things. Number one is definite communication, clear-cut, effective communication, not just talking, but effectively communicating and making sure that other person understands you. And two, just straight open-mindedness, man. Like a straight open mind. Like, there's the word no never comes up. It's more of a let me see what we could do, or what about this, or let's talk about it, let's discuss it, let's do that. Because when you have an open mind, like, everything can be solved. Everything can be done either together or no, it's just not happening together. But no matter what, an open mind, open communication. Effective communication, an open mind. That's my relationship goals.
So my relationship goals, out of the many that I have to pick through, I would say communication, definitely. Being able to have somebody that I can. So for me, what's hard about me is that if I'm having a bad day, I don't want to talk about it right now. Give me a second. Let me breathe. Let me just be in my own solitude and then come back. And so I want to have the communication where if my boyfriend, husband, or whatever, I come home, he's here, he says, "What's wrong? You look like you had a bad day." I'm just willing to say, I'm really willing to verbally vomit on him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And
Girl, just say everything that's happening to you.
Right. Yeah. Tell you exactly how I'm feeling, what I'm going through, all my emotions, and you being there. So when we talk about relationship goals, I'm thinking solely on what I want to work on, what my goals are for a relationship, not necessarily what the other person is bringing to me. I want to be able to listen better. hear him out, hear where he's coming from, not just I want to actively listen. I also want
look at you actively listening.
listen, because I can listen and tone you out at the same time and ask you, are you done? And then walk away like you didn't say anything. The other thing I want in a relationship, I want a best friend. I can't stress that enough. Like, I want somebody that is willing to, I don't even have to say anything. I just look at you and you know what I'm thinking, like, and you give me that side eye, like, yeah, girl, I was thinking the same thing. Or like, not finishing sentence kind of stuff, because that's creepy. But
I was about to say, like, yo.
No, not
finishing, son.
Not finishing my sentence, but somebody that knows me well enough that they can I could be across the room and they just overhear what this person says and looks at my face for my reaction, like,
oh yeah.
Yo, you got to check out her face in 2, 3, 1. There it goes, boom, like one of those kinds of things. Yeah, like my best friend, just like, oh, we can hang out. We definitely would need to take our breaks from each other, because too much togetherness would just be too much. But to take our breaks from each other. But I'm looking for that friend, somebody that I can hang out with, where it doesn't feel like I'm in a relationship. It literally feels like I'm hanging out with my best friend, and who doesn't want that? And lastly, in a relationship, I want somebody. Oh, so this one is about to be real heavy. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I want someone that, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm willing to work with just anything, but I am willing to work if you're willing to put the effort. I'm looking for someone who may not necessarily have kingdom mentality now, but envisions himself to be a king, and it's not me seeing that, it's him seeing that in himself.
Thank you. Yes.
Because we as women, we will see your potential, and you don't see the potential. But it's you seeing the potential in yourself to be a king. And I'm not talking about a king of like the streets or a king of this. I'm talking about you have the vision to say, you know what, Monica, I'm about to go to school, take these exams that's costing me $400 or $500, but I'm about to take it because I want to be a computer engineer or something like that. And I need to take these classes. I don't have the money, but I'm willing to sacrifice and work double shifts to put aside the money to get to this goal, because my end goal is to be a supervisor for this particular business doing this particular job. I'm looking at you like, bruh, did you just say you looking for the crown? I'm with you. Let's roll. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm looking for a king that has vision for his kingdom. Just like I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because that's what friendship is about. And I know you will tell me if I'm fooling myself or not.
In a heartbeat.
I love you for this. I believe that I have a queen mentality. I feel that I am not at the level to be considered a queen. I'm definitely at a level to say, I'm in the princess realm, because I have a lot of things going on for myself, a lot of vision that I want to happen and things that I'm trying to put in place to get me to a queen level. And if I'm trying to be a queen, I can't be with a pauper. I can't be with the frog. I can't be with a prince as a queen. I need to be with a king. And so that's what I want in a relationship. 2 people building empires by themselves and then positively coming together to build an empire together.
I hear you. That's actually... Hey, wait, hold on 1 second. Because that was some poetic shit right there, all right?
I love it.
I love the ending as well. I love the boom, the empire boom.
I'm glad you love it. I came over it just for you.
Poetic shit right there. But
that's what it is.
But ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's good, although sometimes it may be a little fairy tale-ish, but you never know. It may not be fairy tale-ish. It may be good. You feel me?
Right.
So, however, though, we're going to have to wrap this up, because we had a good conversation.
From Dave Chappelle. Wrap it up.
we got. But listen, I hope everybody enjoyed our relationship goals session. I hope everybody enjoyed Listen, man, we got a lot more to talk about, man. Come on, enjoy yourself.
Man, this is only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. You got a lot to talk about. Listen, and that also, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate. Leave them right there in the comments.
Yeah, we always looking for topics. We always looking for topics.
We want to talk about what y'all want to talk about. Okay, give us. Listen, that's what we do. Anyway, I'm Valentine, and listen. Monica's got a nice voice. By the way, you know I can't leave here without shouting out that her other great asset, and it's her birthday. Hey, she started dancing. She's getting used to it. Hey.
Man. I thought we was over it. I'm glad that you like my voice, though. Thank you.
Listen. I can talk to you all the time. Hey, it is what it is.
Yo, thank you guys for listening. It's your girl Monica with another episode of Balance and Sanity. Have a great weekend, all.